Okay, viewers, you're looking at a darkened wall, but that's not important right now. What is important is the return of Grace.
Hello! Kia ora!
Your adoring fans have missed you. How have you been?
Of course, absolutely delightful.
Awesome. We've now seen two bands,
Yes.
and we stumbled upon a conversation about sound and genre and engineers.
Yes.
You are of the mind that the vocals can be saved in any particular arena, regardless of where it's actually built, i.e. we're at the Brixton Windmill, which isn't built for sound as such, but you had an issue with the vocal level.
Okay, so what
of
you're
that.
doing right now is putting words in my mouth.
Oh, okay. We begin with our fighting. Wow.
So the beverage is down. This is a serious thing. So my main point of contention was the sound engineering. So essentially, this is no criticism to the artists that played. That's totally fine. They're on their own buzz. They're doing their thing. But the thing is if someone wants to appreciate that, they want to be able to hear it. That means they want to be able to hear the drums and the bass and the electric guitar and the vocals, so they can make a judgment as to whether they like the music. I personally, unfortunately, was unable to hear much other than drums and which again is no insult to the artists, but unfortunately is a misrepresentation, and that's what I'm most outraged about. Misrepresentation.
Do you think that everyone couldn't hear the vocals, or do you think it's just you?
I think that regardless as to one's hearing's capability,
I'm not saying you got super hearing, Grace.
I've shit hearing. Regardless of that.
Okay.
Regardless of that, and regardless to where I was located in the room, it is the job of the sound engineer to make sure that everyone, including the little old lady out the back,
You ain't gonna be here listening to this fucking
can
kind of
listen
music.
to every single thing that's being said and every note that's being played.
Okay.
And I was disappointed that I wasn't able to enjoy, well, to an extent. I
You had a
wasn't
good
able
time.
to. I did.
Good.
But that wasn't because
You had to make an
the
allowance.
artist said that the song was about a certain thing or about a certain story or a genre, and I wasn't able to hear.
I've heard a lot worse than what was here today in terms of vocal level. Granted, I was right next to the speakers because I was recording it, but I think if you're in a certain part of the room, then you're going to miss out. So I think being in the middle actually helps. So maybe get in the mosh pit, Grace. Maybe that's the fucking future for you at live gigs. Don't just sit
smashing
there,
it
just
out.
smash your head away, and maybe then you won't even care. It'll be about the vibe and energy rather than hearing every single
Well,
lyric.
and one could argue that that's the whole point of music, and da 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 da. Da 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 da.
You just like the sound of that voice.
No, I like the sound of you fucking pissing
it's a cool
yourself with
voice.
laughter.
It's a cool voice. If I had your voice, I'd say da 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 all day.
Well, you
at
should,
the annoyance
anyway.
of my neighbours
Make it
and
a
friends. Indeed. What we've got to do, because we
Is wrap this up because there's another band and you're really itching to get there.
well, yeah, I'm itching to finish off this video with a conclusion.
Okay.
The conclusion is
Okay, so my conclusion.
Yeah.
Alright, fine then.
fucking
A.
rock and roll conclusion time.
Okay, so basically what I'm really disappointed is that I feel that a lot of bands might be misrepresented by the sound engineers. They might have some really extreme, really beautiful, really intricate, complicated thoughts, and they may express that through music, but I feel that if if it's down to a technician who doesn't really give a shit and who damages the equipment, which I witnessed tonight.
Damage the equipment?
No, actually, it's a really fucking serious thing. The equipment is worth a lot more than the engineer themselves.
Okay. Okay.
And so I'm just disappointed that if that's the way new bands come into it and they're not heard properly. That's a sad story as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Grace, A&R Woman of the World. I have to agree with you completely. I do think that on a certain level, when you listen to a studio album at home, that's when you get cerebral with that shit. That's when you're figuring out what the hell David Bowie's saying or whoever. But when you're watching them live, you don't really want to hear it, you want to feel it. So therefore, sound engineers do get a little bit of a jail, get out of free card. But no, we will make sure. We'll make sure that we come back to this because I've got to go and see a band.
You just want to say your last point so then you can piss on territory. Fine, goodbye. We will continue this pissing on territory.
Don't worry, we'll piss around later. For now, we must go back to the Phobophobe. Say goodbye to the camera.
Adios.
Adios. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.